world where prison is home for a lot of our people, you know what I'm saying? I really felt like this was necessary. Um, because we all know people in prison, right? We all know people in jail. Some of us then been there and experienced that. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like this was necessary because I don't want y'all to think that physically being in prison, like in the walls, behind them bars, don't think that that's the only way that you could be in prison. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know y'all don't follow me, so let me break this down, right? Let me break this down. I don't want y'all to think that physically being in prison, in a cell, at a facility, behind bars, is the only way to be in prison. Cause that shit start in your mind, bro. Like, you know how many people is freely walking around every single day, walking around the streets, clocking in jobs. They at the gym. They everywhere. People that's in prison mentally is everywhere. I don't want y'all to think that you have to literally be sitting in a cell and behind bars to be considered in prison, because that's not the case. You can literally be like the slang how we say it, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't really get the phone call. I ain't gonna answer that. But the way we say it is like, oh, I'm going through a lot. or we say stuff like, this is something that I've been battling for a long time. We say stuff like, man, it's so many different ways that stuff can have you in prison and you don't even realize it. You don't even realize how bad it really is. You know what I'm saying? Until you got to face the problem head on. Because being mentally in prison is damn near worse than being in prison literally. Because when you mentally in prison, your thought processes are different. They're not fully developed. They're not in depth. Like, when you are mentally in prison, I know just from my own experience and being mentally in prison, not well, in some ways right now. I was about to say not right now, but in some ways right now I'm mentally in prison. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm mentally in prison because, which I talked about the other day, them commitments that I make to myself. When I make a commitment, I got to stick to it. There's no excuses. There's no do what you said you was gonna do when you was gonna do it, right? We talked about that the other day. So that is a way that you can be mentally in prison. But I do know that from my experience, people being mentally in prison are all over, man. And it's not necessarily, I don't want to say it's a one-off, it's a bad thing, it's making you this, making you, because honestly, like, we all have things that are imprisoning us. I don't care who you is, everybody. Y'all know my thing, built off my struggle. We all got them struggles that we going through. All of us. We struggling with something. I don't care who you is in the world, man. You got to be struggling with something. Nobody is just 100% perfect. If that's the case, you would be Jesus Christ. We all struggling with something. We just can't allow it to imprison us and trap our mind. That's the part that we have to face. We have to overcome. We can't allow it to trap us and imprison our mind. And the way you do this is, when those feelings and those thoughts come about, you face them, you acknowledge them, and you have to literally, like, force yourself to push through them, man. Like, I'm trying to think of an analogy to give y'all. So for me, it's like, okay, boom, I talked about the workout thing, right? And one of the ways that I feel like some people can be mentally imprisoned is by not being able to control your fork. Like, you got these fitness goals, you got these body goals. You know what you need to eat and you know what you cannot eat in order to achieve the goal that you set forth, right? So why you can't control your fort? Why you say, oh, I'm done with this because it's not helping me. It's making me look this way. It's bloating me. But then 3 days from now, you back eating it because you can't control it. You can't control yourself. That food is mentally imprisoning you. Don't let it. Do not let that happen, man. So for me, the analogy that I was gonna make is, and how you literally push through it is, let's just talk about food. Let's just talk about food. I know that this is not gonna help me, but I'm craving it. I'm craving it so bad. Like, man, I want some Doritos with some cheese sauce. I want some ice cream with Oreos all over it and caramel and fudge over the top. I literally need you to say, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. Go get you some fruit. Go get you a yogurt cup. You know what I'm saying? If you want a burger and some fries, you force yourself to eat that grilled chicken and broccoli. You force it. Because that's the commitment that you made to yourself. Don't allow that food to mentally trap you. You say you done drinking. I'm done drinking. I'm done drinking. It's just drinking don't help me, man. I wake up, I got headaches. I'm not productive the next day. I'm late to work because I'm hungover. Why you keep looking at that bottle and pouring shots? Stop doing it. You have to literally say, no, I'm not doing this. Period. All right, another way, another sign, not another way, another sign that you may be mentally imprisoned is you lack confidence. You got these, like I said, you got these goals. You got this vision, like, I can do that. You see other people doing it. You hell-bent on other people's success instead of being hell-bent on achieving yours. You are mentally imprisoned. You lack confidence. And you also may have some hidden insecurities that you have not acknowledged yet. Mentally imprisoned. Confidence plays a huge part in being successful, man. And if you don't literally believe that you can do something, you won't be able to do it. Like, it ain't no half stepping when you trying to get somewhere. It's like, imagine you want to go to the corner store, right? Say the corner store. We all got corner stores where we grew up at. Imagine you want to go to the corner store, right? You're like, man, I'm about to walk to the corner store. And you ain't fully walking, you inching. You taking them little inch steps, like, you inching. Bro, you know how long it's going to take you to get to that corner store? Instead of fully opening up your stride when you walking, speed it up so you can get there and you can get back. Stop inch stepping, man. Open up your stride. Open up your stride and commit to the process. Commit to it. Unlock your mind. Unlock it, because, like I said, being mentally in prison is damn near being worse than, is almost worse than being physically in prison. And I say that because I know a lot of people in prison, all different walks, all different mindsets, all different thought processes. And I know people who are mentally and physically in prison. Like, we call it institutionalized. But you could be institutionalized on the street because you believe in all the BS that other people feed you. You could be institutionalized in the streets. I know people in prison who are freer than people who are not. People in prison, I know people in prison who are freer than people who are not. And I say that because, yes, they are physically behind bars. They are physically in prison, but they in there reading. They writing books. They sticking to their fitness goals. They focused. Now, Granted, it's a different situation, and you almost don't have no other option but to be. But at the same time, you know people who in prison who are not this way. You know, who still smoking, drinking in prison. They smoking the prison weed. You know what I'm saying? They can't wait to get out, to get on the street and do the same thing that got them put in. They mentally and physically in prison, man. And this is one of the problems with the world. We don't face that issue how we all be. I'm not gonna say we all be, but a lot of us be mentally in prison. Unlock your mind, unlock your thoughts, remove them handcuffs from yourself, because you got them on yourself. Remove them handcuffs from yourself, and watch how far you go. Watch what that gets you. Watch what that gets you. You remove them handcuffs from yourself, and only you know what's handcuffing you. I always say, I don't know everything. I only know what I know, and you know what's handcuffing you. Remove them handcuffs and watch how far you go.